Why people should stop having kids. Hey guys, it's controversial here. So today I just wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind. You know, I see many people having kids, and specifically like illegitimate kids. And I've noticed that specifically during high school, I've noticed that there have been a lot of girls that graduated, whether in school or that like had to drop out because of their child. But like I've noticed that many girls have been having kids, and it takes two to tango. I don't understand, but let me just say people. But like one thing I've understood about society is that people are overindulging a lot lately, and it's kind of sad that in such a world, in such a broken and messed up place, people would actually consider having kids now. And it's kind of weird to see the fact that people have no self control or regulation when it comes to having kids these days. Because I'm telling you, I've seen people who've barely hit their mid 20s there, and there were some of them already have two or more kids. Like, that's not how you start a life, people. And it's important to educate the kids, or to educate people in general, that having kids is a decision that you can choose not to make. You shouldn't make life decisions based on peer pressure, and this is something that I've never done. um it's kind of sad to see a bunch of people that are unhappy because they decided to not hold back on having kids, or they decided to not go out and drink instead of going out there and studying. Because I'm telling you now, people, having kids is a death sentence, and I'm not gonna sit here and baby people who've had kids. No, because I'm telling you now, it's crazy. Like, you cannot live the life you used to live, and there are so many people out there who've tried to do that, but it's never worked. And that's something that you must really take into consideration, not only about your well-being, but the well-being of the child. You cannot sit there and say, "Oh no, I can handle this." What about your child? Do you think your child can handle having a deadbeat? No. And this is the thing. And like money isn't always a measure of someone who can have kids, because there's so many people out there who have the money to look after their kids, but they don't have the mental state to do so. Because mental health is no joke, people. Mental health is important. This is why I've even heard stories of where one of the parents tries to murder the child because of pressure from life. like like this is not a joke, people. This is a real life. Like, I was watching a show about a story of these three young women who got pregnant in high school. One was gonna be an Olympian runner who's gonna run in the US, and then one was in academics, one was other academics now. But now the two girls had their children, and then the one girl had a child. But then for some reason the boyfriend, I think, had a nervous breakdown, or I don't know, his mind broke or something, and then he murdered the child. Like, I don't understand what goes through a person's mind. And this is over something as little as sex, people. Like, can we become a generation that cannot live without sex? And sex is marketed to us so often. If you look at Instagram, if you look at Snapchat, if you look at all of these social medias, try going on to Instagram without getting a boner, honestly. And like not only that, but social media constantly pushes stuff that you don't need, stuff that you feel that stuff that before you could say you could live without, but now you can't. Because now all of a sudden you don't want a car, you want a Lamborghini, and all of a sudden you don't want a house, you want a mansion. So it kind of sucks that we've grown up as a society that needs things that we generally don't need. And it's kind of sad to see that this has a negative impact on human beings, because like children remember a lot of stuff, people. And I'm telling you, if you think that a child will not remember poverty, you are dead wrong. You are absolutely dead wrong. And this is one thing that I don't agree with, is this whole thing of just having a child and then saying, "Oh no, let's have a child and then see what happens." That's not how it works, people. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy to look after a child. Like thinking. It's extremely stupid to think that, "Oh no, my child is gonna grow up to be a hero." Not all children grow up to be anything. I'm telling you now, this is, it all depends on the parents, because certain parents have tried to all of their power to make sure that the kids have been successful. And guess what? Most of their kids were not successful. It's a crazy system and it needs to be stopped. And this is why I've never really been in relationships. I've never been one to go out and party, because I saw what partying did to certain people. Got certain people pregnant, drugged out, drug addicts and whatnot. And now you're honestly sitting there and telling me that this is the type of life you want. Oof. I swear, man, this society. And everything is over sexualized. So this is why you keep telling yourself that you need to be in a relationship when you don't. Work on your education. Work on the stuff you need to do. Because I'm telling you now, if you are smart, like if you are intellectually smart, and you can read, you can write, you can study, you're good at education, I say focus on the education first. Once you finish, you can do whatever it is you want. I'm not gonna stop you. One thing I'm just telling people is to make the smart decisions before they make the stupid decisions. Make sure that you at least have a backup plan before you make mistakes. Calculated risks are a thing, and more people should be into doing them. And it's not necessarily saying, oh, it's something only smart people do. No, it's something that you need to practice doing. Calculated risks help you make mistakes that you can easily fix, instead of going out there partying all day and then sleeping with 3 different women and then having 6 kids with one person. And the crazy thing about having kids is that like women have the kids, not men. So one man can impregnate 10 women and not really feel the emotional bond to the child. And it's crazy to think that there are people out there who have such a body count. 6 kids to one human being. I mean, this is overindulgence, people. Like, rappers and celebrities have lots of kids all the time. But you're not a celebrity and you're not rich. And I'm telling you now, be careful. Be careful with what it is you watch on TV. Like Teen Mom. Teen Mom, for example, was a pretty entertaining show. It was a pretty entertaining show. But I found it stupid because I was thinking, most of these people are complaining because they shouldn't have been out in the streets and then partying in the first place, and then they get impregnated by some moron who never loved them in the first place, but who just used them for sex. Oh my goodness, people, where have we come as a society? I'm telling you, this is why I try and go out in public as little as possible. The only people I want to meet is my friends, or the only place I want to go out is to have fun. There is genuinely good fun. I'm telling you now, partying, drinking and everything, if you consider that fun, then you need to change what your term of fun is, because that's the type of fun that can get you into a lot of trouble, can get you killed, can get you arrested, it can get you drugged out, it can get you into so many problems. This is why having fun should be clean. Having fun should be something that everyone can do. Because if you're telling me that you're going out there to just drink and smoke and then run away from all your problems, that's not fun. That's not fun. That's called drowning your sorrows or drowning whatever. And if you call that fun, if you're going to brainwash yourself into calling that fun, then you are crazy. Like, listen, maybe drinking beers back in the early 2000s and partying and stuff was fun because maybe there wasn't that much to do, but there's so much people can do now. People are getting smarter and smarter, but society wants to be stupid. So anyway, I don't understand this system of today, but people, I refuse to bring a child into this world because of everything that's going on in the world right now. And the world is so broken and it's not catering towards kids anymore. Kids are getting kidnapped left, right and center. Kids are dying left, right and center. COVID is ruining kids' lives. If you honestly think that you can bring your child into this society, then there is something seriously wrong with you. You need to get your brain examined. I would say if anyone can hold off for at least the next 5 years, I say go for it. Get what you want in life first. Having kids should not be a young person's thing. I'll never understand how people in their 20s can have a child. Anyway, you won't have any time to look after that child. That child is just gonna be at preschool or is not gonna amount to anything in life. I'll never understand why young people have kids. Because I remember when I used to work my job at retail, there were people who were barely into their 20s or barely out of their 20s who had kids. I was like, wow, this is never gonna be me. I'll make sure this is never me. I'm gonna stay out of these parties. I'm gonna stay away from all these people. This is one of the reasons why I quit working there, was because I couldn't stand hanging around such people. Oh my goodness. Oh, sometimes I'm thankful that I grew up as a nerd, that I never had such nice life people problems or such chat problems. Because this is why I'm glad that I just stayed at home and played video games with my friends, or stayed at home, or went out, played sports, did kid things. Because when I was a kid, people weren't interested in doing kid things. But anyway, guys, I mean, when it comes to life, just be careful in the decisions you make. Like, at least if the bad decision you make is a really stupid tattoo that you have to hide, like that's acceptable. Like, if you honestly have to hide it with a bandage, you can do that, and it won't look sus. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, eh? So I think that's all that I have to say. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this, I'm not sure. But this is Controversial signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.